Well, let's get to our next guest. His company broke records as the largest software IPO in history when it listed 5 years ago. Since then, Snowflake has moved from strength to strength as the AI boom fuels demand. Sridhar Ramaswamy joins us now, the CEO of Snowflake. Sridhar, thank you so much for joining us. Just revisiting those heady days 5 years ago, the name Snowflake really just brings to mind some sort of soft, watery image, quite juxtaposed to the sizzling stock that took off, 112% with a bounce on day one, and the highest valued software IPO that we saw back then. How would you describe the conditions for the company today versus back then when it was all about these online tech companies, where today it seems to be about the AI winners?
Yeah, data is increasingly playing an important role in today's world, and people are excited about AI because it can help them make sense of their enterprise data even faster. And Snowflake is right at the center of this AI data revolution, helping customers get value from data faster, and also helping unlock value from things like PDFs or images or videos. They were pretty much inscrutable before, and it's this excitement that you're seeing with our customers. I'm here at our conference today, and there's a lot of excitement about how AI can help enterprises get real value from the data investments that they make.
Sridhar, I want to get into that because you're right at the coalface, and what we're seeing is that there's enormous enthusiasm for some companies to just invest now, think about that investment later, for the investors themselves to buy stock, think about it later. What seems rational to you in this market, and where do you see some of the froth?
Well, there are a lot of investments that need to be made ahead of time. For example, when it comes to power or chip production, things definitely have to be done in advance. But when it comes to Snowflake itself, what we tell our customers is they should always keep an eye on the business value that AI can create. Yes, there is long-term promise, but I very much advise our customers to do projects one by one, showing value for themselves along the way. And what's unique about our consumption model is that we don't require upfront investments. There are no product purchases. They can see what value they get. And this, by the way, is very similar to how I approach using AI within Snowflake. We're not making massive investments in how we should use Snowflake. We do it project by project, making sure, for example, that our engineers are productive, that our salespeople are more productive. That incremental approach will serve companies well, rather than making giant bets that are hard to prove or disprove. I very much favor the iterative approach.
Sridhar, to that point, a lot of companies, a lot of startups, they're all building their own AI agents, and those really investing think that there'll just be a proliferation of very specific AI agents. But this week we saw that OpenAI could simply just overlay its technology into other apps, and some of these are big enterprise customers as well. Could there be a situation where we don't need as many AI agents, and in fact there's overinvestment taking place in agents?
Well, it is very early when it comes to agents. Absolutely, it's a bit of a buzzword. For what it's worth, an agent is an AI model that knows how to use different kinds of tools to access data or to take actions. It's that ability to combine actions. For example, read an invoice and figure out automatically whether it should get paid or not, that people are excited by. And what is exciting and sometimes terrifying about the AI space right now is that it changes so rapidly. What used to be clearly in the realm of application software gets done by the model companies. But I would caution people against declaring winners and losers this early on. The promise of AI is clear, the value of data is clear, but I think there's a long way to go before things like what is the shape of this new industry exactly going to be, the role of SaaS providers and so on gets settled. But in the meanwhile, the best things that we as either users or technology executives can do is to make sure that we keep our eyes squarely on what creates value for us within the businesses that we run.
In terms of creating value, you are facing a lot of competition now in AI and platforms from vendors like Databricks to the cloud providers like Microsoft as well. How does Snowflake differentiate itself as competition ramps up?
Yeah, we made our name as the best analytic platform in the world based on a revolutionary new architecture that our founders came up with. And we are still the best enterprise AI data platform that there is. whether that comes to things that enterprises need, like disaster recovery, or really good governance so that the right people can access the right data, we are very much ahead. And we have invested in AI in such a way with our signature product simplicity so that it's easier for our customers to get value. I feel very confident about staying in front of the pack when it comes to both data and how enterprises can get value from AI and data.
Industries is Snowflake having the greatest impact?
Can you repeat the question, please?
In what industries are you seeing the greatest impact from what Snowflake offers?
Yeah, financial services is one of our strongest suits. We have the world's biggest asset managers, data providers, banks that are a part of Snowflake. Healthcare is another area where, with things like clinician notes or radiographs, things like that, where we are having a big impact as well. We tend to be pretty horizontal. We work across a number of areas, media included, but I would call out financial services and healthcare as the two areas where we are having a lot of impact with data and AI.
Sridhar, are your shares overpriced, and does that worry you? They trade not quite at Palantir levels, but they trade at one of the highest PE multiples of any company I can see.
Well, as you know, you don't control the stock price. My focus very much is on value creation. We have to earn dollars, every single dollar at a time. So we are focused on the quarter, focused on the year, but much more also on the value that we create with customers. Over the long term, the stock market will settle itself. We focus very much on how do we make sure we create value for customers and continue to drive revenue at the pretty torrid pace that we've been driving.
Yeah, and I appreciate your answer, Sridhar, but a lot of your fellow founders and key personnel at the company are selling stock at the moment. So I'm just wondering if that's a bit of a sign. Michael Spicer is selling stock, Vivek Raghunathan is selling stock as well. Does that mean that they think that the price is overvalued?
I don't want to comment on individuals doing it. There are obviously a number of personal reasons for them to be doing it. I am not selling any stock, very much in favor of the long-term value that Snowflake is going to be creating. And the sales tend to be very modest for what it's worth. All of us think that there is enormous value for us to be creating for our customers in the future. I tell our folks that Snowflake is already a pretty great company, but I want it to be an iconic company, and that's us keeping our eyes on the prize in terms of becoming one of the great technology companies in this role. And I think that requires very much a long-term focus, which is what we do day in and day out.
But look, you know more about this industry than I will ever know, sir, but you also know about boom and bust in the industry as well. Do you fear, though, that these great valuations being attached to your company and others, dare I say it, I mentioned the likes of Palantir and others, do you think actually it creates a degree of volatility further down the road, despite your very firm business model?
Look, the markets are not something that we can control. As I said, we keep our eyes on how we create value for customers. We believe in working tremendously hard to seize the opportunity. I believe that we are in a very unique moment where AI can vastly accelerate the value that can come from data. We think of this as a significant business and societal opportunity for all of the 12,000 plus enterprises that we work with. Yes, there are going to be things that have gone up and down in the market. I've lived through the dot-com era, the 2008 changes. I think what I feel very confident about is AI is going to let us all do things that were pretty much unimaginable before. The way in which I approach information or you approach information, with the many excellent consumer products that there are, or products like Snowflake Intelligence, is pretty remarkable. The time to value change is also pretty remarkable. Will there be turbulence along the way in the markets with respect to how the stock market behaves? Absolutely. But I think the value that is going to come out of this AI revolution, if I may call it that, is pretty firm, and we all need to stay focused on that.